Hello everyone! Welcome to my virtual learning class. I am Evelyn and I am teaching Earth and Life Science 11. Good morning! Good morning! How are you today, my dear students? I hope you're all doing great. Did you ever visit our e-learning site? Of course, I hope you answer all the activities and also the assignments. Anyway, our topic for today is a continuation of what we have discussed in our previous lesson. So, we discussed the common characteristics of animals. So, one unique characteristic of living things is the ability to use energy and matter to ensure survival. That is why we have a great morning. Because we are all energized. Did you know that energy is a vital to all living things to allow to do work and of course to move in order to perform the necessary activities. So may I ask you, did you all have your breakfast? I hope everybody did. Now, our lesson for today is all about organ system. I have prepared some pictures in these slides for you to have a quick look if you can still recall or remember the type of organs that living things has. So later in our discussion, you can connect or you can describe the function and also the structures and their ability to move or work. Okay? Now, try to have a look on this picture. So we have here the different organ systems. So I hope you can still remember the organ system in our body or in human body or in living things. Okay, we have here another type of skeletal, and how about this one? Okay, and you have also here, and for the last, then we have hair. So this is another organ system in animals. And then we have here I hope you can still identify or you can still recognize which one is the reproductive system, which one is the nervous, which one is the digestive, immune system, and the muscle. So I hope you can recognize. So before we will proceed, let us first read our learning outcome for today's lesson. So first is to identify the different organs that comprises a specific organ system. Describe the characteristic of the different organ system in representative animals. Identify the different types of respiratory system in animals. Compare the digestive system of the different animals. Different animals, they also vary in their digestive system, and so with their respiratory system. Then you have to appreciate how each organ system work together to ensure animal survival. Then follow some ways to maintain a healthy digestive system. Okay, so that would be our learning outcomes. So at the end of the lesson, you shall be able to identify, to describe, compare, and appreciate, and you know how to maintain a healthy digestive system. Class, did you know that the planet Earth is unique among all planets? Yes, it is. Earth is the only planet that can support life. Is filled with diverse creatures as a result of over 3 billion years of evolution. As the simplest form of life continued to evolve, the early organic compounds eventually turned into complex cellular organisms. Then, life forms began to change, and organisms began to develop simple body structures capable of sexual reproduction, and that leading to the creation of offspring with mixed attributes, thus having the potential of developing new species. So this is the world of animals. The earth is the world of animals. Okay. When we say fundamentals of life, then we have to discuss here the basic principle of life to form, evolve, for survival. So we all know that all living things are made up of cells. And it is also the cells that is the basic structure of life. So, cells need oxygen, food, and energy, and water in order for the cell to survive. So class, let us find out the level of cellular organization. So as what I have said, that cells are the most basic and simple. So it starts from cell, then that cells are all alike, work together to form tissues which perform tasks. And these tissues that are alike work together to form organs which complete the job. Okay. Then organs work together in organs to carry out processes. Then you have now the organ system. And these organ systems will now work together to support the life of an organism. So that is for our survival. Okay? So from organism, then organ system, organ, tissue, and then cell. So that is from complex to simple. So from basic, we have to start from cells, then next is the tissues, then from tissues, then organs, then we have now the organ system, then organism. Okay. Now, how do we study animals? So, by simply, we look at the outside of them. Then the outer physical structures. We look inside of dead animals, which is the internal physical structures. Then we look at the tissues under a microscope, that is microscope structure. And then we study the chemical reaction between cell, tissues, and organs. So that is how do we study animals. So from the outside then to the inside. Okay. So anatomy of the living things is also important thing. When we say anatomy, this is the study of form, shape, and the appearance. It structures both internal and the external. Now, what is an organ system? An organ system is a group of organs that contribute to specific function to the body. The heart, for example, is the main organ of the circulatory system. That is why when we talk about heartbeat, then the main organ of that is the circulatory system, or the organ heart falls under circulatory system. So these organs help the heart in carrying out the task for the function of the circulatory system. Okay? So can you name some of them? Can you name some other organ system aside from the circulatory system? I know it is easy. I know you can still recall those organ system. You always discuss that in your lower years, right? So there is no reason for you to forget. At least you can still remember somehow. Now, organ system, the function of each organ system overlap, and the body of an organism could not function completely without the cooperation of all organ systems. Yet, each organ system has a distinct and unique characteristic that perform a specific function for survival of an organism. Okay, so we have here the list of organ system that is found in human body, or it can be in animals too. So one is the skeletal, muscular, and the integumentary. So this provides or support protection and mobility. Now, you have the nervous, digestive, and the circulatory. Okay. So when we say nervous, this enables us to respond whatever. And then circulatory, this involved in the transport of materials. Now, how about respiratory, excretory? Okay, when we say respiratory, this involved in the gas exchange. So that is the breathing. So breathing pattern, inhale and exhale. And how about the excretory? So excretory is responsible for the elimination of waste. So whatever we take in, normally, it would also be excreted. So waste products must be excreted in any forms. Okay? Now, how about the endocrine? So when we say endocrine, this involves regulation of activities. Okay. Kaya minsan, naiihi kayo. Right? Then, how about reproductive? Okay. So reproductive, this enables reproduction. So you have to go to the world and multiply. So the last one, we have the immune system. So when we say immune system, this provides immunity to disease. we have to fight. No, we have to fight. We have to boost our immune system to fight disease or any diseases. We need vaccine to fight the COVID-19 virus. Or simply boost our immune system para hindi tayo mahawa ng COVID. Okay? So, we have to discuss now one by one the specific organ system that is found in all living things. Or let's say in human. Okay. So, what organ system this picture represent? Okay. So, this is skeletal system. So, skeletal system comprises of bones, cartilage, and the ligaments. Okay. So, how many percent of water? 50% of water and 26% minerals, 20% protein, and 4% fat. So, the core is soft and spongy. How about the cartilage? Okay, well, this cartilage is soft, tough tissues found between bones that cushions joints. So this cartilage protects our joints from moving. And how about the ligaments? Ligaments is a long, stretchy tissues that hold joints together. Okay. So these things are found in your bones. So skeletal gives structure and support. This protects internal organs. It makes locomotion or movement as much as possible. That is why alagaan ninyo ang inyong mga buto. Kasi if ever it will be fractured, then definitely there is already a change in your movement. Now, how about this? What do you think is this picture represent? What organ system this picture represent? Okay, this is your muscular system or muscular organ. So, how about muscular? Do you have any idea about muscular? Okay, it is your muscles. When you say muscles, you can describe muscle as fibrous cells that are designed to contract and relax in pairs. Without muscles, therefore, your skeletal organ cannot barely move around as to what direction you would want to. You need your muscle also to protect your skeletal organs. So, voluntary muscle under the organism conscious control triceps, and you have the involuntary muscle automatically move to regulate body functions, heart and diaphragm. And then you have the tendons. This tendons is a long, thin, stretchy tissues that attach muscle to bones. So muscle pull against bone when they contract, which causes movements. So if you don't have enough tendons, then you can also feel the pain when you are moving your bone. So you need enough tendons and muscles to protect when you are contracting or doing any movement. Okay. So you have here example of muscle. Simply the meat, no, the meat of an animal, that is an example of muscle. And also we also have our muscle here. You have our biceps. So primary function is movement. It can be external or internal. It also protects delicate organs. Then, muscles make up about half our livestock animals' weight. Muscles are the meat of the animal, composed mostly of protein. That is why once you are younger ones, you are really advised to eat more protein. So we have here an example of where to find your muscles. Okay. So just try to take a look on this. If you have enough time, then you can review this presentation because it is uh, it is in your learning path. It is uploaded in your learning path. So you can take a look or you can go over to this presentation. Okay, so try to look at the pictures. It is being labeled. For these are the muscles. Now, let's move on to the nervous system. It looks like roots. Parang mga gamot. Okay? So, saan nakikita ang nervous? What do you think? Nervous is located. I know a lot of you maybe doesn't know where is your nervous. Okay. Nervous is definitely your brain. Okay. So brain is a sole tissues that coordinates all aspects of animal functions. Then you have this spinal cord. So your spinal cord is the main highway for nerve impulses to travel from the brain to the rest of the body. So this transmit the messages from the brain to the rest of your body. Then you have the nerves. The nerves branch out and reach the other part of the body. Kaya nung tinignan ninyo before, sa previous slides, para siyang mga gamot-gamot. So, this is the nerves. So, the function of the nerves, this branch out. Of course, this carry the messages from the brain to the different part of the body. So, it is really very important. Each function and structure of our brain. Okay. So, nervous system uses electrical impulses to send messages from brain throughout the body, controls activity, learning, memory, central nervous system, and the peripheral nervous system. So they play an important role in our body. Again, I want to refrain your nervous. The major structures are the brain, the spinal cord, the nerves, and the sense organs. So the functions, this regulates behavior, maintains homeostasis, regulates the other organ system, and controls sensory and motor function. Okay. Kaya dapat nating alagaan ang ating brain or the nervous system itself. Okay. Now let's move on to the circulatory system. Okay. The major structure for the circulatory, one is the heart, arteries or veins, or you have the heart, the blood vessels, the blood, the lymph nodes, and the vessels, or you have here the veins and arteries. So the heart, this technically pumps blood with 4 chambers and the 2 valves. So it is also illustrated in the picture. So try to follow the diagram, and it is also being labeled for you to be guided. So again, the heart technically pumps blood with 4 chambers and 2 valves. Then you have the arteries. The arteries, this carry oxygen-rich blood from the lungs and heart. Then you have the veins. So the veins carry blood back from tissues to lungs and heart. Okay. So again, circulatory system, this transports nutrients and waste. Now, circulatory, you have the blood, plasma, which is the liquid part of blood. Then you have the red blood cells. These red blood cells carries oxygen and carbohydrates. This carbohydrates is what we call the glucose. Then you have the white blood cells. These white blood cells, this can fight pathogens. Okay, then you have the platelets, so makes our blood clot. So this is how important circulatory system is. Okay, so again, as what I have told you, that circulatory includes the lymph glands, and this lymph gland secretes disease-fighting material. This moves materials throughout the body. Now, let's move on to the respiratory. I know, lahat alam ninyo kung what are the structure or the major structure of our respiratory system. So, first we have the nose. Okay? The nose, dadaanan ng ating hininga. Then you have the pharynx and the larynx. Then, this pharynx connects the esophagus and trachea. Okay, the larynx, by the way, is the voice box. Okay, now the trachea, this is the windpipe that connects nasal passages with the lungs. Okay, then the lungs, this is what we call the bags that expand and contract to bring in fresh air and expel old air. So when you inhale and exhale, your diaphragm is also expanding. Okay? So inhale, exhale, that is one way of exercising your heart also. So your respiratory system, the function is to bring oxygen into the body and expel carbon dioxide. So for human or animal, we take in oxygen into the body. And what we expel or what we exhale is the carbon dioxide. So that is the product of our waste. That is what we call the carbon dioxide. So exchange of gases happens inside the lungs in the alveoli. Then the lungs expand and contract due to the movement of the diaphragm. Okay. So that is the function of the respiratory system. So again, it moves air into and out of the lungs. It controls the gas exchange between blood and the lungs. Okay, so now let's move on to our excretory. When we say excretory, this also referred to as the urinary system. You have the kidneys, the bladder, and the urethra. So, kidneys, this removes waste materials from blood. Then the bladder, connect bladder to urethra. Kaya naihi tayo. Then urethra empties urine to the exterior of the animals. So, naiihi tayo. So, pag sinasabing excretory, yan yung responsible ng ating pag-iihi. Okay? So, again, this removes waste from the blood and regulates concentration of body fluids. Okay. Matanong ko nga kayo, kumakain ba kayo kanina? Okay. So, digestive system, the major structures that involves in here are your mouth, esophagus, stomach, small intestine, cecum, large intestine, the rectum, and the anus. So this breaks down food into usable energy, and this removes unusable food from the body. Kaya, pag nabubusog na tayo, anong ginagawa natin? Okay. Nagpupo na tayo. That is normally removing the waste products of what we have eaten. So, when you say digestive system, this extracts and absorbs nutrients from the food and remove waste. And also, this maintains water and chemical balances. Now, let's move on to the endocrine. So, endocrine, ductless glands in the body. So, this is the major structure of endocrine. Ductless gland in the body, you have the hypothalamus, pituitary, pancreas, liver, thyroid, adrenal. So I hope class you all know where can you find your hypothalamus, your pituitary, your pancreas, liver, thyroid, adrenal. So this endocrine secretes hormones that chemically regulate certain body functions. And also, they play a large role in reproduction, digestion, and growth. No? So again, this also regulates body temperature, metabolism, development and reproduction that maintains homeostasis, and regulates other organ system. So medyo malaki ang function ng ating endocrine. Now, we have the integumentary system. So, what are the major structures involved in the integumentary system? First, you have the skin, the hair, hooves, horns, and animals, so, and etc. This keeps out pathogens and also regulates body temperature. So we have our skin, our hair. This can help us regulate body temperatures and also give shape and color. So this protects internal organs. Our skin, our hairs protect our internal organs. So animal skin is also called the hide. Most animal hides made into leather. Yes. So again, the skin can protect or can regulate body temperatures. So in other words, the function for this integumentary system, this protects against injury infection, and fluid loss. This also provides structure and support to the rest of the organ system. Now, we have the reproductive organ or reproductive system. So the major structure in reproductive systems are the testes and the penis in male, then ovaries and uterus in female. So, reproductive most complex system in animals. This allows for reproduction of animals and the continuation of the species. So, different structures between male and female. So, most animals fundamentally have the same system, just varies in structure between species. So again, the main function of our reproductive produces gametes and of course offspring. I would like to repeat that tissues are groups of different cells that perform different functions. So a group of different tissues united to perform a common functions form an organ. So several organs performing together for a common function make up an organ system. So again, the human body is made up of different organ systems. Now, class, did you know that other animals can digest food better than the others? That is due to the type of digestive system they have. So, for us to know that there are 4 basic types of digestive system. What are those? Okay, to name, we have monogastric, the ambient, the ruminant, and the pseudo-ruminant. So we will try to find it out how they differ from one another. Okay, so types of digestive system for the monogastric and the ruminant. So for monogastric, 1 through stomach. So example for this, you have the dogs, the cats, pigs, and the horses. So again, dogs, cats, pigs, horses, they have the same type of digestive system. So they belong to a monogastric digestive system. Now, for the ruminant, this ruminant, they have 4 compartment stomach. Okay? So, class, try to take a look the difference between monogastric and the ruminant. For the monogastric, there is only 1 true stomach, while ruminant, there are 4 compartment stomach. Okay? Madami silang paglalagyan. So this ruminant or this 4 compartment stomach are now called reticulum, the rumen, omasum, and the abomasum. So example for this, cows, sheep, goats. So these animals, they have 4 compartment stomach. So cows, sheep, goats. So what can you observe this kind of animals? Usually, they are the ones that usually eat grass. Okay? So this monogastric digestive system has 1 simple stomach that secretes acid. So this acid destroys most bacteria in the stomach and break down the foods into its simplest form. So they can easily digest foods with high energy and low in fiber. So we have also an example here. Okay, chicken. So chicken is an example of a monogastric digestive system. Okay, how about the avian digestive system? So it's found in poultry animals and that do not have teeth. They break their food into small pieces by picking it with their beaks or scratching them before swallowing. Food enters the mouth, then it travels to the esophagus and into the crop. Okay? So this is the look of an avian digestive system. So usually the chicken does not have teeth. Now, how about the Iruminant digestive system? So ruminant is derived from the Latin word ruminary, so to chew again. So ruminants are animals with four-part stomachs, which allow them to chew food more than once. Okay, so they usually chew the food that they take into. So the ruminant digestive system has a large stomach divided into four compartments. Again, I reiterate, the rumen, the reticulum, the omasome, and the abomasome. So they are usually herbivores, which eat large amount of fiber. So their digestive system are able to digest large amount of cellulose. So their food are not chewed well and are swallowed in large quantities. So it is the fourth compartment of the stomach, which is called the rumen, which has millions of bacteria and microbes that helps in partial breaking down of foods. Then, since these animals do not chew well their foods before swallowing, then it passes again to the next, which is the reticulum. So it is from the reticulum that traps foreign materials such as wire and nails. So meron silang paglalagyan ng mga matitigas na object. So from that reticulum traps, the digested cellulose is swallowed into the omasome. And this omasomes removes water and passes now to the abomasome where it is digested by the enzymes produced by the ruminant. So see, parang sinasala din yung kinakain nila. So, pseudo-ruminant digestive system is found in animals that eat large amount of fiber but do not have stomach with several compartments. Okay? Unlike in the previous slides, they have four compartments. So, in pseudo-ruminant digestive system, animals that eat large amount of fiber but do not have stomach with several compartments. The digestive system has the same functions of those of ruminants. Okay? Now, we have to know the different types of respiratory system. So, animals have evolved. So they all function to exchange in oxygen and carbon dioxide with the environment and internal fluids of the transport system. So the gases are then transported to and from the tissue where cell respiration occurs. Okay. So small multicellular animals, such as the hydra. Hydra have no respiratory organs. So gases are exchanged directly by diffusion between the organism and environment through the epidermal cells. So these animals have no need for a transport system because all their cells are in contact with the external environment. So land-dwelling insects have developed a system of air tubes called the trachea. So air enters the insect's body through openings called the spiracles. So along the side of the body, from these openings, the trachea branch into smaller tubes that have direct contact with the cells. So thus the cells easily receive oxygen and give off carbon dioxide by diffusion through the walls of the air tubes. So the insect's respiratory system is not connected to its circulatory system. Okay. So how organ system work? How heart, together with the accessory organs, play a very important role in the circulatory system. So it will explain how the circulatory system works as well with the respiratory system and with the nervous system. Okay? So try to look at how this organ system work together or simply their connection when it comes to their functions or when they work together. So why an individual must take good care of his digestive system? This is how the digestive systems affect the functions of the different organ systems. So since they are working together, then it is important to take good care all of this organ system. So the heart pumps the blood, and with the assistance of the blood vessels in the circulatory system, this distributes the oxygen-filled blood to the different parts of the body. It also collects waste products and delivers it to the kidney for your excretory system. So once it is delivered there, then it is now your excretory system which is now responsible for the waste removal. And the lungs now is also responsible for the waste disposal. That is why for human, we usually, or we dispose, we exhale the carbon dioxide. For the plants, they also dispose the oxygen. Okay. So this is really how organ system works. It supplies the brain with blood carrying enough amount of oxygen, and in return, the brain regulates the heart rate and the blood pressure of the circulatory system. Then it controls the movement of your muscle and bones. Then when someone smells his favorite food, the brain now can recognize and interprets this, now giving signals to the digestive system that he feels now hungry and must eat. Diba? Even the smell alone can now dictate, our brain, and that it will give signals to our empty stomach that we must eat. Okay. So this is how organ system work together. We are now in our last slide. Happy na gid mo, no? Anyway, so how did you find our discussion today? I hope you gain knowledge on the structure and functions of the different organ systems. And of course, by learning about the different systems working inside the body, you can understand how everything works together to keep you healthy, growing, and of course, strong. And how important your brain, your spinal cord, because now they are the major parts of the central nervous system that control the rest of our body parts. So, as it is indicated in this slide, please take good care of me. Okay, you have to love yourselves, then please take good care of your body. So please be responsible. And that would be all for today. And see you next meeting. Then please try to log in to our learning path. For I have uploaded there some of the resources, the activities already there. Then there are some questions that you have to answer also. So please visit our learning platform. Okay? So thank you and have a blessed day ahead of. Bye-bye.